Mr. Issa Connell. For
Hey,
those
hey.
who don't know Issa, I do know you very well. But for those who don't know you, would you be able to just give us a quick little, blurb and kind of about what we're talking about today?
Okay, so my name is Issa. Me and Zach been friends for a very long time. We always had conversations of the more enlightening uh, path. One day we just decided to get together and start creating content with each other. I created my channel, Path Unknown. This is where I'm going to share pretty much all the inner workings of emotion, how I experience it, and how I break it down. Family, being a father, transitioning from that, and a lot of great stuff. So, happy to be on, happy to share, happy to grow, and yeah, where we end up, hopefully, we get it together.
Hey, I appreciate that, man. That's the key, getting there together. And a really big reason I want to thank you. One is for sharing, this knowledge that you've acquired, over your lifetime, and with observation of those growth through each step. Some people they wait till the end of their lives to look back and reflect, and you do that while simultaneously living. And I just want to give you kudos and applaud you for that.
Thank you for the acknowledgement, man.
No,
It is work, I could tell you that.
I understand that, man. So just to kind of jump in and give a little kind of brief of what I'd like to discuss with you.
Hmm.
Um, Growing as a man, as you know, is one of the most challenging experiences humans can live, especially now as guidance is fleeting. There are less and less role models, older brothers, big cousins, uncles around to let people know that the journey that they're on, they're not doing it alone.
Of
And the
course.
goals that they have of improving themselves or their situation are not lofty, they are attainable.
Hell yeah.
Um, so just to kind of ask you a few questions. Um, I know you're a father, you're a husband,
Yeah.
a brother, a great friend. You wear many titles. Uh, and as long as I've known you, you've always been very giving with knowledge, food, rides, money, anything. Anything you name it. You've been open, completely open for anyone to take.
Right.
So when did you kind of feel like you weren't really just living for yourself anymore?
Um. Well, man. Uh. I would say when I first got to America, uh,
Mm,
got here in '05, from
okay.
Trinidad and Tobago. So, you know, I was the last kid of my, two sisters. So it was three of us in all. Our dad sent for us to come to America. And, once we got here, I kind of picked up the role to take care of my younger brother and sister in America.
Okay.
So, because they had to work, of course, to maintain the house and stuff we had was, expensive. And now that I'm the age of my parents when I first came here, I
Mm,
understand, what they had to do to basically maintain, uh, the household and the family. So they were out working. I was home being the parent
mm,
for, my little brother and sister, still being a child. I mean, I was only 15 when I first came to America, right?
okay.
Uh, Trying to teach them, the inner workings of certain things of, how I saw the world. I was very philosophical from a very young age. So I saw things kind of like differently to most. As far as emotions, because my sisters, I grew up with females. So funny, they call me gay a lot for
Mm.
being emotionally aware of my feelings. So
No, yeah,
anyway,
a lot of
I
people can relate with that. No, that's a good that's good to bring up because that is a fear point for a
right.
lot of young men, especially they don't want to appear sensitive, soft, or like you said, gay.
Right. So yeah, because I was more emotionally aware, emotionally in depth with people, interpersonal. I guess what they call it, and intra. I understand myself and I understand other people's emotions. So conversations was always easy to have with people of different personalities. Uh,
Mm.
like both my little brother. My little brother was kind of like me, kind of emanate himself, toward who I am. But he was very easy to communicate with. But my sister, I had to communicate with her more emotionally. So,
Right.
me growing up as a teenager, connecting with little brother and sister, that I always been a little brother to my two elder sisters. So, that role kind of put me in the parental type place, where
Okay.
taking care of others made me feel good. Taking care of teaching others things that I have learned and worked, right? It feels great. So it was around that time I started learning about Eckhart Tolle. I introduced you to Eckhart back in the day when he was still in the military. Uh,
Mm.
and that's when I started really getting my knowledge from, that source. It was dense at the time. I didn't really truly understand what he was saying, but it was interesting to me. So now that
Right.
I have experienced, you know, uh, betrayal, real friendship, love, of many different levels, you know, um, I've came to understand my personality and who I am, and who I am is that giver. That's why being a father is easy. Being a husband is easy. Having kids and, taking care of them in a way where mentally I could help them get to a place that they understand that you could get education, you could be really good at certain things, but if you don't have emotional awareness, you probably won't get anywhere. My daughter is very she's very selfish. I love her to death,
Mm.
but she doesn't have like the let me rush to your aid. It's always me first. So she's now that we have a baby, a little baby boy. She's very. I have to keep on reassuring her that we love you. We always
Mm.
love you. You're first. And even the
Yeah.
even the dog, like even Liam is like, where is my attention? Like where?
They feel it.
Yeah,
They feel the shift.
they feel the shift. Now that we have to, kind of refocus our emotions to have this baby, involved and be in the family. Everybody
Mm.
else is like, "What about me? Do you love me like that?" My daughter is like, "Daddy, you haven't looked at the stars with me lately." I'm like, "Look at the stars. When did we do that?" And then I remembered, right? And then I remembered that I took her outside one day. And we got her a telescope for her birthday, and it was a really beautiful full moon. And this is like one time, right? And I gauge it up on the moon, clear it up, and I'm like, oh my god, it looks like really pretty. And to her, like, that's like me and my dad does that a lot.
Right.
So you got to pay attention to what you know you do with your children, and what you do
Mm.
in a family, in a relationship. But I digress, right?
No, no, this is all part of, identity, right? I mean, that's why I asked about, when you felt like you weren't living just for yourself,
Mhm.
as it ties into that identity shift. And
Mhm.
that's the big that's the big leap for a lot of people, because that often comes with massive amounts to change, not
Right.
only in your friend group, but your living situations and who you're talking to on the day to day, and who's really your support system. And you have to really change a little bit of every part of yourself in order to get to the end goal, which
Right.
I'm establishing as provider, husband, father. Those are the things we're working toward on this camp. This camp over here is working towards getting myself and others to the point where they are capable of a healthy relationship that they are able to step into and lead, coach, and mentor and provide with love for their families.
Right.
Um, so I think that all that ties perfectly into it, because you're observing so much. Your identity is shifting quite a lot, and that
Yeah.
father, you're downloading all those father files now.
I'm telling
Uh,
you. I am telling
do
you.
you ever do you ever feel anything clawing at you, like the old you? Does
Oh
that ever
man.
does that although it has no place in your current life, I'm sure a lot of young guys now always they feel like this. I would always feel like I need to, yeah, but I want to go out, or yeah, but I'm gonna lose my freedom. I'm gonna lose my, you know, that's that old you. Do you ever, in this place you're at now, do you still feel that selfishness, I will call it, clawing at you
In the beginning, right?
of your
I would say the first year of my marriage.
Of marriage. Okay.
Yes, the first year of my marriage, because everything kind of happened fast for me. I went from back in 2018, living in the car for a little bit, to living on certain friends' couch, that I provided. Put that in there. Living with our old sergeant, our old NCYC, and then finally, just crashing out completely, getting break up, bought a one-way ticket to Trinidad, and boom, I found my wife. So I was on the verge of, I was going to go to Thailand, then Greece, then I was going to go travel the world. All this stuff is happening in 21, right?
Hmm.
This is like the end of COVID, and my the mother of my child, not wife, right, called me and was Issa, like, Trinidad is open. Come see your kid. And that was the first thing on my mind, is to go home and see my child, because I haven't seen her in 2 years because of the COVID situation.
Right.
So when I went home, and that emotions got relit in me, all the stuff about traveling around. I mean, I got in college. We traveled around together, in England and in Scotland, wherever, in Mexico. We traveled around and we saw what that has to give. The fun is very finite, right? If you're not
Yeah.
drinking and, hooking up and doing all these different things, the substance of that is kind of like, all right, this is freedom, but this is freedom that's kind of uncontrolled. It's freedom that's not, it doesn't have a direction to this freedom, but just to find more freedom to be free,
Hmm.
right? So it was very lonely. That leads me to this thought of loneliness. In the fight for money, and 2020 was awesome. Remember AMC, like
Oh yeah.
twenty
For
thousand
sure.
dollars, $1,500, call, right? Turn into $20,000 overnight.
Hmm.
Bro, what? Making money, making moves, crypto, this, that, travel, all of these things going on. But deep down inside, when I sit down with myself, it's a level of loneliness that I'm like, if I am to get to the point of being on the top, right, wherever that is, I was in
Mm.
hair, I was in makeup, I was barbering, I was getting ready to do movie makeup, with celebrities and all this different stuff, model shows in Miami, like that speed. And I was getting ready to be on a reality show about
Yeah.
hairdressers. And then COVID happened March of 2020. So in pursuing that dream, and that dream coming true of me being, a celebrity stylist, and fashion person, whatever, uh, it was so lonely, and how we grew up in Trinidad is like we really grew up together. Like we had a 1 bedroom house. We all had our corner. Who's sleeping on a futon, who's sleeping on the bed.
Yeah.
We're this togetherness, like, and for me, success was figuring out how I could get that for myself under my ruling. I know it could have been better,
Right.
right? With my own family, my own direction, stuff like that. So to answer your question, I mean, yes, nostalgia always comes up of a moment of being free, but the decision I've made, the vow I've made, right? And all these other girls I've been with in my life growing up, like in relationships that give me serious heartbreak, right? And a vow was never made in front of God, right? I'm not the
Right.
religious type by any means, right? But my word is my bond. So what I say is what I mean. So if I
Yeah.
say I'm gonna, give this woman an honest chance and, really live a life that would be good for future me, right?
Yeah.
And future my offsprings, right? I have to operate a certain way. And that certain way was definitely not, trying to travel on a single type mind frame, or, well, I got you here to America. Well, I still have to go do my dream. I mean, it's a dream, like it wasn't a goal. A
Right.
dream was to go and travel the world and experience these different cultures, different women, right? you know, um,
Definitely. Definitely.
But it just came to a point where that wasn't when I saw my family again after that 2 year period, and nothing was sure. COVID could have come back for all that mattered, right? And lock us up again. And I saw my daughter went from when I saw her when she was born to like a grown kid, and I didn't have the chance to really be like there as a father. And I'm still trying to build that relationship because she
Yeah.
remembers every chance she gets. She's 7 years old. From since 3 years old when I came back, she always found a chance to tell me, "Daddy, where were you when I was this age? Where were you when I was, X, Y, and Z? I experienced this or whatever." And I'm like, oh, "Are you doing? Are you doing that to remind me, or you're doing that to hurt me? Like,
Yeah.
wait, where you trying to go with that?"
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and I take it as a reminder, right? I
Yeah.
take it as a reminder that I had a responsibility, and because I was, free with my decision making, um, I came back to America. I mean, obviously things worked out, right? Like if it
Right.
wasn't for COVID, I wouldn't be so like dead set on business and getting stuff to a point where I didn't have to go back to the 9 to 5 or whatever. But
Right.
thank God I did a little what you call it, job training, right?
Okay. Yeah.
That's what land means. So Social Security, which is what I'm doing right now. Good thing I did some job training in that area, to have a profession in this law thing with Social Security, because who
Yeah.
knows how that would have worked out. So while I hated a 9 to 5, a 9 to 5 is definitely stable enough for a family, to get to a place where you could do the side projects to build income, to buy a job
Mm.
back in time. But that will take time. It would, I want to do that with my family. I don't want to do that by myself. You run across too much snakes. You run across people who see like your talent as a get out card, and that doesn't, they don't want to live up to the fact that you're seeing something in them and that you can
Yeah.
get them to a next point. They're seeing what they could get out of it. And I ran across those people because it was only me, and I always wanted to care for the friend with a dream, the family member who needs some bread. Like I always care for that. So I just use that and put it where it belongs. Right
Mm.
here. Right with me and right with my family. People
Yeah.
that's gonna look after me in the long run. Um but yeah, man, like
No, that's good, man. It sounds like there's it's naturally for you become more of an us as opposed to you know a you.
and I right.
Not so much more about what you can get and what you are trying to have because it sounds like even if you were to have all of these solo dreams accomplished, they would not be as fulfilling as having your family there
It wouldn't feel like this.
regardless. Yeah, okay. So that's great in the sense that as we're looking at marriage and partnership, which is another big tenet of mine that is to be focused on heavily.
Right?
It,
Yeah.
it sounds like the balance between you and us is actually motivated emotionally. You care more about investing in the us. You want the you and your wife and your children to be a part of whatever growth, whatever excitement, up or down. You want them there enjoying that with you, as opposed to achieving any success. Well, it'd be $1 billion by yourself. It wouldn't be as fulfilling. It sounds like.
It won't.
Mm.
Taking a
Is
drink
that
of fine whiskey, how does that taste by yourself? Probably tastes good, right? Probably.
it is? Yeah.
But sharing a memory with somebody that you choose to like go through stuff with, choose to have painful situation with, and you drink that drink. Like I remember you buying me $1,000 bottle of whatever, or you spent $1,000 that night, But we
Uh,
had shots that's $150 of Louis. Like
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean to enjoy and to celebrate, obviously. But no, that's a great point. That had I just sat in that same building by myself and had that same shot alone, I wouldn't even remember it.
Exactly.
I wouldn't have a single memory of buying that one by myself. So
And it was a birthday, and who remember birthdays? Nobody. And if you tag somebody, what you remember about a birthday is mostly a painful situation. Right? Like, god damn, bro. Like, that's what happened. I'm sorry. Happy birthday, though. Belated as it is. Like,
now I do have a question for you,
okay.
because marriage and even dating seriously, because now, like, they don't even people don't even use titles. Oh, where that's my little whatever, that's my fine shit, that's my
Well, I heard that's my
we
ball now. I've been watching them youngins on the YouTube.
what, like ball and chain, that's
Like
my
ball, that's
ball.
my ball. Like that's my ball.
Basket, my ball. Oh, my
Yeah,
ball.
yeah. I heard
Okay,
DDG
all
and
right.
them boys and them talking about my ball. I'm like,
Oh,
this
good
is the
lord.
talk that they come up with nowadays.
Yeah, which is
Yeah.
like we're just getting so much further away. And I'm all about. Look, I'm not some square. I get it. I maybe I am square, but
Right. Maybe
I
I'm a
do understand.
like,
Maybe I'm an unk. I could be unk now. I get it, but some things I think we still need to make sure we're being clear about.
right.
And when you say like, "Oh, that's my ball," that doesn't tell me any information about the
It.
seriousness of this relationship. That
This
just
is what
sounds
I'm
like that's
saying.
something you playing with. That's your ball. That's this. I'm gonna dribble it around the court a little bit, do a couple layups, but I'm not taking this ball home.
Right.
You know, I'm
Right.
not putting this ball in a case. This is not.
So no
You
one wants to claim, but
right?
and give titles, right? But they want all the value of having
Okay,
that person.
and that's
That's
and
what I'm.
that's the. So that is an accurate description. And I can see your head do it. You see your mind working because they're missing so many steps, right? There's so much in between. So once now, everyone doesn't. Let's. I just want to make a clear statement here that it doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter all these external factors when it comes to who you're in a relationship with. Those things fade. So I don't want to give too much credence to that.
I
However, I will say,
mean,
hold on. Well, I get it. I will say, in this day and age, everybody has their preferences, and you like what you like. You can like what you like, but I don't want anyone feeling like, oh, because they're not this, they can't find whatever. There's somebody for everybody. There truly is. There's enough. There's enough out here.
yeah, like there's enough
So let
views, like there's enough dollars for everybody. Just everybody's hold a certain percentage is holding a lot of it. So
so
what
with
percentage is holding a lot of
so
good women? Where are
with that, right? Where are they?
they?
But I'm caveating all this to because something I was just talking to a cousin of mine about
Mhm.
was he's chosen a partner because she's physically everything he wants, and he doesn't care
Only
about any of it's. He's strictly physical, is what I've deduced. And he doesn't care about the other stuff, the her bills and all these things because of that infatuation, and
he's not
most are
worried about her
stuck.
bills. He's not worried about
Look,
her bills.
okay, all right. So this is what I'm getting. I want to peel that onion back because in the pursuit of marriage and fatherhood, we have to value other characteristics much higher than looks if we want to have a successful relationship. Because I mean, I don't toot my own horn, but I've dated across the beauty spectrum, and character is something that you can't be born with. You have to work on it.
Right.
So for the young men that are circling the possibility of proposing and getting married and all these things, what are the big mental adjustments, if you could think of some, that you had to make from being single or even girlfriend to actual marriage?
That one is a good one, and that one I have to actually pull up because I had to write that one down.
Okay,
It's
good. No,
very
that's good.
important.
I appreciate you doing that. A lot of times you send questions ahead and people are just like, oh, I'll come up with some stuff on the fly. So I appreciate you taking the time to read it over
Of
and
course.
and think about um, the answer you want to provide.
All right. So let's read this off, right? These habits I had to drop to make my marriage work, right? That's the question.
Yeah, mental adjustments, habits. What were the just things that you had to shift in yourself, introspection, to make it work, to actually get to a place of peace in your home? You can go upstairs and talk to your wife about anything, give her a kiss on the cheek. It doesn't matter. There's no beef. There's no, it's all good. How did you get there?
All right, so some habits has to be dropped, right? So the
Okay.
habits that I have had as a single person going into this relationship,
Mm-hmm.
this marriage, was so the habit of always thinking that everything is about me. I had to remove that completely from my mind, right?
Okay.
Completely. It sounds crazy, but you have to remove it because that comes with a certain amount of ego. And if you put ego in front of your family, especially your wife, this is the person that's gonna be there when you die, right? This is
Mm-hmm.
this is the mindset I have. I had to get rid of that. It was all about preserving what we have, and what's preserving what we have is me making sure that she has 100% of my attention at all times.
Okay. So you're not. So this. You're not using the justification of I'm the breadwinner, I get to set the rules. I'm the man, I get to set the rules.
I was once
I
like that.
do this and that. I'm the alpha, I set the whatever. Because a lot of guys think ruling with an iron fist is how because they watch all these guys, right? So I hate to
Mm-hmm.
sorry to cut you off,
No,
but
please, please,
I
please.
loved what you just said there, and I wanted to drill home. It does not matter. This is what you signed up for. So please, I'm sorry.
That's it. This is your responsibility. This is the woman that you chose to be with. Like, if you a player, you run in the streets and you got like 10 of them on hook, then by all means, I'm sorry for the future you, right? But if you choose
I'm
one,
sorry for the future you.
that's that's what it
Okay.
is. Because look at these men,
Okay.
these all these men is getting all these women and doing different things and having different kids and like these rappers and these different dudes that have more than one baby mama, more than one problem, more than one personality to deal with. You don't even know how to deal with yourself. You ain't
Mm.
even had a mama to really teach you how to be a man because that wasn't her job. Where the father was
Mm.
running the streets, right, doing the same shit that you're choosing to do right now, and you see where it puts you. So me getting married too was breaking a curse. Oh man, it was breaking a family like I don't want to be a statistic. I
Yeah.
rather deal with the issues inside of a marriage that I chose to be, that I chose to person I chose to be with, than be out there messing with a whole bunch of different women who don't even know what they want. Most of them are
Mm.
succubuses anyway. They suck your energy,
That's true.
like. But I
So it
digress,
started.
right?
Yeah, I was gonna say. So it started with you eliminating or attempting to bring down your ego.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ego was the first habit I had to drop, right? And the habit of taking things personally too. So
Mm.
that comment you made just now of men who make large sums of money and hold down the household and they do their job well, but they lack the emotional side because of this part.
Okay.
Yeah, they take things personally that they women do and say to them in that time, and then that leaves them to do something else or
Oh,
try to
you.
get back.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's true. I do. I have heard a lot of guys in that position where any criticism or any, hey, could you do this a little more? Or, hey, you left this, whatever. They're taking any criticism, any additional tasks, or anything their wife is asking of them as just like, how could you put more on me? Why are you?
Exactly.
Am I not what you don't like the roof? You don't like the, didn't I just buy?
Anybody gonna want this life right now, and you over here tripping about it? I have heard that
Mhm.
recently.
Exactly.
N-
Exactly.
and that's for taking things personally. Like, you know, it's not always gonna be rainbows and butterflies. Like, this is your life partner. Do you always agree with yourself? If you always agree with yourself,
Mm.
then shit,
Mm.
come teach me. I'm still learning that, and I'm getting better at it. But you'll never agree with yourself 100%. So what makes you think this person outside of you that you choose to love is gonna agree with you 100%? It's gonna have debates. It's gonna have ups and downs. is gonna have extremely hard times. Once nobody betrays a relationship, and I mean, go out thinking that something is better or someone is fulfilling a feeling that you're not getting right now. The reason why you're not getting that feeling right now is because you're not doing something very specific, right?
Mm.
And I could use the whole alpha be bring the feminine out of your woman, but that's pretty much what it is. Like, if you're not bringing this love out of your partner, your relationship, your wife, your husband, and they want to go somewhere else, or someone start treating them and they start comparing and contrasting, then it's something that has to do with you. The reason why my relationship works is 'cause I have so much love for myself, it bleeds out.
Mm.
Especially for the people who care about me. Man, I'll flip bricks for y'all. Some family that's connected by blood, I still do. You reach out and I do for you. But if you care for me, you're gonna get all the sauce from what I'm learning. Like that's just how I am, right? So that's why my
Yeah.
relationships work is because I took care of the mental part of what relationships make you feel and think. I took care of that part first. I relate that to pain, right? My pain tolerance and my ability to learn it and use it to give me what I want. Oh, I'm getting up to master level with that. Because I know that's what's gonna happen. A problem will arise. A disagreement will arise. Does that mean that, oh, this marriage is XYZ and what's the channels of the dudes that be talking about women ain't shit and we
Oh
not,
my goodness.
no fugazi. Like, I mean, well, I'm not downing these dudes. Like,
Oh,
you
I am.
know,
I am. Oh, 100% on. They're steering
you
our
know,
boys in the wrong direction.
I mean, they're bringing out the worst parts in women. I mean, yeah, they're teaching, but like what's the point? Like the point is really to make these women feel so bad and tie them. They don't know how to think. They're emotional beings, right? The ones that they're interviewing on their channel are so far gone. Obviously, the content is going to be great because you're
Yeah,
going to
that's
get
true.
them to a place where they can't really understand that it is a family dynamic that got you this way. It's because your father wasn't in your life, or you didn't have no strong uncles or brothers, or people to actually teach you what being a woman is. I have to tell my little girl all the time, hey, go what modesty. Let's practice that. Just because you see your mom doing stuff doesn't mean you gotta do it too.
Mm.
That's my wife. You are my daughter, right? There's a certain way you have to carry yourself. And I hope she has that, she takes that as a daddy's trying to teach me, and this is the kind of man I want to be with.
Mm.
That's what I'm hoping for. Not me trying to be a hard ass and telling my, daughter to scram and, stop walking around the house naked. Like, that's my little girl. Like, she's going to do that. But I don't want you to think that you could do that outside of these doors. So I have to
Oh, right,
teach you
right,
these
right.
things right
The
now.
duality, the safe space that which is home, right?
Exactly.
And which is that, glad you said that because I'll try to loop back to that towards the end,
Hmm.
just about advice to younger men. Um, but so you were saying ego had to die, and you
Hmm.
had to learn to not take things personally.
Right. To not come
Okay,
off too, egotistical, or they call it toxic masculinity. That's a
right?
form of toxic masculinity. This,
The ego,
I
yeah.
yeah, I run things and these are my rules. Like, I'm learning. My wife teaches me, and my wife learns from me. So it's like we allow each other to be one. I share my bank account with my wife. I don't give a like what that some people don't even do, like they don't even know what's in their husband's bank account, like for a rainy day. I mean, this is it.
This
This
is
is
the
this
rainy
is
day.
this is the rainy day. This is it, yo. Like, I
Yeah.
am not hiding anything from my partner.
No,
You know.
that's beautiful. And I know a lot of people are just watch that, just listen to you say that, and are breaking their necks at their man right now.
Yeah, that
Or
he
breaking
gonna
their necks at their women right
regret
now.
that in a couple years. Yeah,
No, it's but
like,
that's the thing. None of, at least in my opinion, the unexperienced opinion outside, right? Now growing into that, it doesn't matter without them anyway. $1 million doesn't matter without my family. I don't care if you take everything. I don't care if you take a half. I don't care if you take
I
90.
willingly
Take it
give
all.
you half. You
You
tired of me? If you're, and this is one thing I always tell all my friends too. It's like once I have gotten to the point where I have nothing else to teach you, and you can't learn anything from me, dump me,
go.
throw me somewhere safe. But live
Keep
your life.
going. Keep growing. Yeah.
Because I have teach you all that I can, and you saw it as soft or not valuable, but I'm still on path. I'm still on a journey toward a success that I thought, well, I know that I will get now, that I'm on path, right? And the people that I've tried to thought, teach and show them certain things is like you're still you're still struggling with life.
Yeah. 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 That's very real
Mm,
because a lot of people they're experiencing that right now where they're at a crossroads. Make a choice that will change the course of their life forever, but that comes with leaving people behind. Comes with
exactly.
leaving certain friendships behind. That comes with growing outside of the closeness that you had with the best friend or a cousin or whatever because you really got to get in tune with your person.
That's what it
Got to
is.
get. I mean, I've had a few long relationships, and it's always been that crossroad. Am I willing to sacrifice myself for a future with this person? And
That's what it's supposed to be.
and that's the crossroad that I keep coming up to and saying, nah,
Next time.
I'm not ready to give it up.
Right. And that's and
But
respect.
well, that's just
You know,
that's just
some
being in
people
the
are trapped there. Like some people don't have a choice but to stay there. Isn't that a
oh,
scary thought? Like
that's crazy. Where you can't get to the next level.
you
You
can't
can't.
or try it seriously.
Yeah, you can't convince yourself that that's a good investment of your time and resources anymore. Like you're so
Yeah.
burnt on relationships, you're so burnt on people. You've been hurt too many times, cheated on, lied to, stolen from, locked up, beat up, whatever. You've
Trauma.
gone through trauma, and now
Big trauma.
you can't allow yourself to connect with somebody on such a vulnerable level so as to give them complete access to who you are. Everything, spiritual, emotional, financial.
All
Open the
levels. All
open the door.
chakras. All levels. That's
Now
the
that
point.
does now I will say that did come with a huge level of trust. I would imagine it wasn't just like, okay, you're my wife, you get everything. It was,
Yeah, nah, I mean,
but you also knew who she was before. You
that's one
did
thing
the
with sharing culture.
you vetted. It was a vetting process. Just to give a caveat for everybody who's like, shit, let me open this up for my wife. Whoa, whoa, whoa. She maxing out the cards. She maxing out the cards.
Yeah, nah. That's the first thing I
Don't do
could have
that.
trust my wife with. I could have trust my wife financially because I met her when I was broke, broke as shit.
Well, boom.
Like, yeah. I met her when I was dead down to the flow. Like my last 3,000 I
I'm
gave
down
to
to my knuckles.
my last 3,000 I gave to a dude in Trinidad thinking I'm gonna start the biggest business in Trinidad. Like nothing, $0. Like
No,
and she
that's
had a
how it goes.
savings and she had, she with the money that she was making, right? And in Trinidad is 6 to 1. The $1 is $7, right? She had a savings, she had her life. Although, she was single doing her thing, she was in a relationship for 5 years, whatever, it didn't work. And she was in her, you know, summer girl type
Yeah.
season, and my strong depressed ass came along. It's like I like what I see, and I stayed, and I made sure to try to get in her head. And my cousin hooked us up, and it was like, yeah, I got this chick that worked with me. She worked in the car financing section, and she real like
Yeah.
she pretty, and yeah, she all of that. All of that. Me, I was
Send it
heartbroken.
my way. Send
Yeah, I
it
was
my
heartbroken.
way.
I found my way down to that office. She even have the picture. I'll send it to you. She even have the picture of the day I met her, just sitting there,
In
said,
her
looking.
office.
Yeah, I had the beard and the bald head, and I'm just sitting there looking at her. And she having a conversation on the phone, talking about I'm a good girl and I go to church and shit. I'm like, bro, when you gonna get up the phone? I just got to the point where I just like grab a sticky note, grab a pen from her desk, write my number, and said, "Text me." She didn't text me. She didn't text me. I had
She
to get
didn't
that
text
out.
you?
Yeah, she did. She did not text me. I thought I was doing something.
Dude, thought she was doing something. She was
I
like,
thought I was doing something with my broke ass. So I had to get her number from my cousin. So I got the number and I hit her up trying to talk to her. She give me one word answers and stuff like that. You know my sophisticated ass. You know niggas read, right? I was like, well, if you lack substance X Y Z, then I'm just gonna keep it moving. And something about me saying that, something about me insulting her in that kind of way, right? She started texting me. Went on a date. One, two, three, family.
oh man.
I mean, not that easy, but that's how it unfolded. That's how it unfolded. So don't think that is you're gonna find somebody on a fantasy. It was organic. I'm happy it was organic.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't online and we build a relationship. Like I don't think I would ever meet my wife if I wasn't in that place, that low place, right?
Mm.
Not to say that she was there by any means, but if I wouldn't have been going looking, I wouldn't have meet her online. I wouldn't have, Trinidad is a small place, but it's still huge when it comes to like stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that breakup I went through, right, led me back to Trinidad, led me to find my future if I was willing to see it. If I wasn't willing to see it, it would have been a different story, right? I probably
Mm.
would have been, if we still connected and stuff like that, baby father, following the dream, making the money, X, Y, D, finding somebody else to love. But the thing is, we talked a lot. Even though we wasn't together, we communicated a lot. So I got to know her mentally too, within the time I was away. I don't know what it's about this, like, people hate distance relationship, but I promote it. I promote it.
It forces you to talk and
It
figure out what you like and don't like, and if you're committed to it, you have some really long conversations and you
long
get inside
conversation,
jokes and you get your whatever. Like dating long distance is tough, and a lot of my relationships have been long distance. But that's
man.
the best way to get to know. So, I mean, I knew their
Really
whole
know
story.
someone.
You'll learn their whole story. Oh, you went to this school and then this and then what happened? Oh, you overcame this and this, and you slowly realize who this person is through all these choices that they've made and things they've experienced.
People run from it like it's the plague. I invite it, like long distance
That's
relationship,
beautiful, man.
especially if you know how to converse. What?
So when she so
Yeah.
just to go on, when you find out you're gonna be a father,
mm.
you find out next levels here. Um, what fears did you have
Oh my God! Every single one.
before your daughter came?
hmm
What fears did you have before your first child?
Being able to provide, being able to be there, like when she was coming. Oh, I mean, when she was even here, I was struggling. I remember moving to Florida and having to, find a job, at Great Clips.
Just something.
Something 750 an hour, $8 an hour, right? Of course, that led me to go to a call center job that was paying like a little bit more, 18. That put me on track, but that depressed me because people are mean, very mean. Business people are very, very mean. I was point of sale tech, call in. Oh, I got a line of people outside, and you got your cozy hourly job. That's
You got to deal with a lot.
I digress, right? But
Yeah,
she, my
the
wife helped.
fears.
My wife helped me overcome some of those fears because I mean, again, I needed to move around. I didn't had a car broken down, transmission problem. I have no money, this and that. So my fears was being able to provide for myself, definitely. Because if I can't provide for me, I could provide for anybody. And I still got to
Broken
see,
hands.
right. And I still gotta send a little bread back to Trinidad to make sure that she's squared away. She got diapers, she got milk. You know, thank God it's 6, 7 to 1.
Yeah. No,
You know,
legitimately, I think a lot of people can relate with that.
yeah. So the first fear was definitely financial. Definitely financial. That was the first fear. Second fear was, am I up to this task of being a father? Like, what does that look like? What does a father look like? Right? Is a father? Can you define that fully without your partner, without the person that helped you
Mm.
become a father? That's a
Mm.
is important, right?
Ooh, that's a huge one.
We will get back to that, but that's a very like I had to think about that, right? Am I a father without the person that made me one? And we have a lot of those.
Wow. That's a that's a huge question right there.
That's what I'm saying.
Does wow, yeah. I mean, now that you say that, can a man can you wear fatherhood without the stamp or seal of approval from the one who made you a father?
It's a question mark. Because if you really give the person, right, all right, think about a situation where you got a baby mama, right?
Yeah.
What is she? Even if y'all if y'all good, why the hell y'all not together, right?
Yeah.
Why you be good with your baby mama, not be with her,
Oh, because this
bro?
don't
Whatever, bro. Like you had a if you good with your baby mama, why you not with her? Figure it out.
make it
That's
work, right?
make it
You
work.
already start. You already did 50% of the work.
This is
You're
what
already tied to this person for the rest
for
of
the
your
rest
life,
of your life, for the rest of your life.
no
You,
matter what.
bro, you could just be a deadbeat and not talk to this person anymore, but because you want to be a father to this child, with this person that you made this child with, she will still be in your life. May it be indirect or directly. So if you're good with her, why don't you make it work? So I chose the latter, right?
You
I
chose to
made
make
it.
it work.
I chose
Overcome
to make it
overcome the
work.
fear.
Exactly. Me and
Hmm.
my now wife was not friendly to each other the first 7 years of our couldn't well 4 years of our like getting to know each other and stuff like that. We got all of our fighting out then. So when we
Yeah.
got married, it was all debates. It was more, help me understand. Like it had some traumatic times where I had chose family over her in the past. That still comes up, and I have to reassure her that that's not what it is. Like we faced hurricanes back in Florida. We faced no
Real
power
shit.
for a month. Like some life-threatening stuff. Right? I nearly lost my wife. Ectopic pregnancy. So you think I'm gonna come up here and choose family who couldn't really even start to know how to console me when these things, was occurring in my life? I had to figure it out. It was maybe you or, writing or something. I'm reaching out to. You can't reach out to anybody when you're going through something.
Yeah.
Not everybody gonna. I mean, my mom used to be that for me, but
Yeah.
again, she's not in a place where it's like she could really truly give that and not be biased,
I
right?
understand. I understand.
And not reach to places where she's not supposed to reach. So now I have to protect that because my mom and my wife doesn't have the best relationship. They converse, they are respectful, right? But in the beginning, I was even a part of it too. They were that's my son and this and that, and she was like,
Mm.
"Why you laying claim? This is a grown man. Like he chose me. What you gonna do about it?"
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
went back
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
forth.
That's
And,
true.
I'm was a mama's boy. I'll tell and hey, and she would be like, you don't tell your mom how to keep that same energy.
And bro, that's have it, and I'm sure that was a new experience for her as well. You know,
Exactly.
children never stop teaching us. Even in their making their own families. Um, what would you say is something that you learned about yourself once you had kids? Only once you had kids. That what did they bring out of you, or what did you look at yourself and say, "Oh, dang, I didn't know I do that." Oh, why do I feel this? Was there anything that came
Mm,
up out of you that you hadn't seen before?
man, I would be cliche as fuck and say love, man, like true love, right?
Hmm.
Because let me say, man. The feeling of taking care of someone and knowing that they will return the favor, given something happens to you, given like, you can't work no more, stuff like that, they will still be there for you. Man, that feeling. And I know a lot of people can't say that, but the reason why I can say that is because I met mines when I didn't have any. And I found a way to get it to a point where she don't have to worry about that no more. You know, lay on me heavy.
Yeah.
Um, but it's love, man. Love, 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 love. That helped me big time. That grew in me bigly because I kind of understood what it was, but I didn't know what it truly feel like. I would have these fragments of feelings in different types of relationships up until my marriage, right? Oh man, these things feel good, but it's a choice, right? Love is definitely a choice. It's fearless. It's definitely fearless because now you have to be very, very vulnerable, right? You have
Mm.
to give yourself to this person 100%. There is no, this is my plan A, B, C, D, all the way down to Z.
Right.
This is it. So any problems arise, anything that occurred, we going to figure that out. There is no separation. There is no D word. I even want to say,
Mm-hmm.
this is fucking it, right? So love grew in me because of the responsibility I have over the things that's so precious to me. My wife gave me a son, and I got to experience it. The emotion of that brought like something out of me, and I was supposed to get that same thing with my daughter. But my dumb ass decided to get anxious and go find, a place to drink and calm down. I was there for the birth, but I wasn't there to see it happening.
Yeah.
And this time I got to see it happen.
Yeah.
What she had to go through. And, even me, what I had to like be for my daughter, because my daughter is, she's a mama's girl. She grew up with her mom. So it's like, now I have to like be consoling and be a father to her and be there and understand her fears of, daddy, do you love me just as much as Joshua? Or, daddy, can we go do this? I give it, she's getting anything. I'm not telling her. I'm not saying it, right? She could get anything from me right now. She could ask for anything, I'll give it to her, right?
Yeah.
Because the emotional thing she's going through right now of being the number one for 7 years, now to being a number two and having responsibilities, man, for a kid, for a 7 year old, that's some major cognitive shifting going on there.
Huge
And if
change.
you're not careful with that, it could get really, really bad. It could turn into bad behavior. It could turn into different things for them to get attention from you. That's
Yeah.
why you gotta like really pay attention to it, and be there. So the second thing, well, first thing was love. The second thing was, responsibility, right? I accepted, as my armor, because I take care of my family, they shall take care of themselves, which will take care of me, right?
Mm.
And selflessness, right? Selflessness in me grew a lot more because I chose that side. I chose the side of not being like, the king or having all these women on me, and I want to have millions of dollars. Granted, I could get these things, but getting money is a goal. Is something that we want to attain by time for what? Blank, 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 or for family,
Yeah.
right?
No, yeah, for sure.
So it's like,
That no, absolutely. That's a huge that's a huge part of it. That's what all of us guys are out here hustling for, going to school for, making money for, saving money for, is for a perceived purchase in the future that we're gonna have to make, or a big bill coming up or something. But after you've conquered that and you've
hmm
achieved an amount of financial freedom, paycheck to paycheck is not what's occurring at this point.
right,
Bills are covered, and you have some to save and invest. These are my prime time guys.
right.
I like to say we're in prime time. Where trending upwards, all the survival things are taken care of. What um what point did you say, okay, if I keep pursuing my personal goals, my personal ambitions outside of my relationship, I'm not going to be happy. Did that part hit you before before you decided to get married,
Hmm.
or did that part hit you
It hit
while
me.
you were
It
going
hit me
through?
prior because I'm selfish when it comes to the emotional part, right? I I really need to feel like it's something that I have my heart in,
Right.
right? You know, I was watching a video recently about Mr. Beast and him building up his empire, right? And he said that you have to be willing to give up your mental health to succeed. And I neglect that in the name of my ancestors. There's another way.
Mm,
There's always another way. Why would you give up that, not knowing when you're ready to settle down and have a family and do the things that you need to do? Like, you're not going to be in the right state of mind because now you have to work on the thing that your past self kind of put in play. And now your
mm,
future self is going to have to deal with that. I'm like, man, you got 100 million followers, $1 billion. You trying to make YouTube and these different things and help people, and you have done that. Once upon a time, you told me, it's like, bro, I don't know what kind of badge you're looking for, but you got it, right? You got it, bro. Stop it. You know, like how much success do you want to have? You know, you're in the rooms with the biggest names in business, in fashion, in whatever industry, genre, right? But you just have this blind goal to keep giving up something that you surely need in the future. Good thing you found a woman that is gonna schedule her stuff around you.
mm.
But is she gonna be there forever? Because
Is that
you want,
wow?
yeah, you want to chase this big pot, this big whatever it is, creation goal, wherever you want to go.
No, that ties back into you saying you took care of you first. You made sure all those crevices, all those stones, all those doors, any dark place was lit up before you invited somebody else into your life, into your space,
And it's important.
so that you can give 100% without fear,
It's very
without fear.
fearless.
And that's um that's that's a huge point that we're all coming to. When I say we, I mean single guys.
For
Where
my single brothers out there,
oh, my single
they're
brothers.
they're
That's what I'm doing
aware.
this for. That's what I'm doing this for. Is to talk to more men who have crossed over and can say it's not that the grass is greener, but it's yours.
It's your grass.
It's your grass now.
Yeah,
It's actually yours. It's not about the color of it. It's the ownership. And now you actually have grass to water.
to
You're
water.
not
Yep,
watering this plant that somebody else is. You're not.
watering at the same time,
Come on.
germinating at the same time.
Now you are watering what's yours. So regardless of how it goes, good, bad, and different, as long as you're trying to water it, I don't care about the color of the grass anymore. Is it mine? That's the part
I,
I'm trying to.
a lot of people. That's a question. Is it yours? There's a song.
Is it?
You could kiss him, you could hug him, you could tell him that you love him, but that bee ain't your bee, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Lee, look at that kind of
Yeah,
fear. Like, you
that's
supposed to be
bro. Of
fearless when people are saying stuff like that. You supposed to be fearless.
course. I mean, you have to be willing to look like a fool. You have
Mm,
to be willing to be looked at, because we're not going for what the majority results are, right?
right.
If if we pay attention to what the majority says, that means we're trying to have similar results to the majority. But the majority is higher splitting up, higher depression,
Very.
higher risk of failure. So we're not focused on the majority mindset, because that's not going to get us to where we want to go. We want to look at the guys who are doing it and are doing it well. That means their mental health is taken care of. Look, tons of guys have already covered. We got it. There's millionaires out here that can have six wives and do all that. We're not talking about those. We're not.
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't care about that.
Don't want the
I'm talking
things you
about the
can't really
realistic.
maintain and achieve. Like, You
It's not. It's too lofty. That's an outlier, and I'm happy that those exist because
ancient times. Right?
this is this is the new shit. This is the new focus. This is where the new home for guys is going to be at because we're actually out here working, living day to day lives, real lives.
The mundane. That's what
The
happiness is. It's
that
very
is,
boring.
and you should, if you're, I always say this, that peace is boring to people who grew up in chaos and they can't tell you the value of it because they don't know. They don't know.
It was never taught. They never felt
They
it,
w-
experienced
they
it.
were they were never taught. The moment that it clicked in your head that I need to buy a house, right? Can you tell me what your headspace was like at the time when you were like, I need to make this next move. Done being a renter, I need to buy a home. I need to make this financial decision and buy a house.
Well,
Where was your headspace at that time?
well, thank God my headspace was in a place where it was actually controlled. Like it was a controlled thought. It was a controlled goal. It
You
wasn't
had direction,
exactly. I learned some stuff. I understand. Although I've never bought a house and stuff like that. The goal was always ownership, right? I've
right?
rented before. You say that the person can come and fix whatever, but I don't
It
want.
sucks.
I don't.
Renting sucks, dude.
It's.
It
I
sucks.
yeah. All day I would get a mortgage. Give me that $1 million mortgage if I could afford it. Well, I'm making like 20 something $1,000 a month, and I could afford a mortgage at that. I mean, of course, I'm not gonna try to buy something I can't afford, right?
But ownership is the key.
Ownership is always the key.
Okay.
You,
So
you,
where was your head at when you were because you could have made a decision like, all right, we're just gonna rent for another year and save up money, and then shit piles up, and then you don't end up done saving money, right?
it
End
was
up not saving anything. So when did you? What was your mindset shift? Sorry
it was
to
always a
interrupt
part of my goals, right?
you. Right.
Everything that I have now, I have once wrote it down in the book. Have a house with a certain amount of rooms. Although my first house wasn't, the certain amount of rooms, now I have that, right?
Yeah.
But getting a home and understanding what that was that first house I got in Florida, and I learned so much. It was
Yeah.
very easy for me to transition from a 200K house to a $500,000 house
Yeah.
just by
And
learning from.
first time home buyers video coming soon.
Yeah,
Stay
definitely.
tuned for that. Stay tuned for that.
Oh my
There's lots of
God,
tips
there's a
out there
lot
for
to
that.
learn about that. Whoo wee, like it's better for us vets, right? So vets, if
Oh,
you
oh,
wanna,
yeah, veterans especially. Yep.
yeah, you vets, I'm telling you, if you want that information, definitely stay tuned to our
Uh,
channels. We're gonna put you on everything you need to know about that.
that is 100% coming. Veteran benefits across the board will be an entire section because we have got the sauce
Yep,
on every facet of using programs. I promise you, I will put you on some programs you did not know existed.
existed. Exactly.
They don't even like advertise these programs. You can't even you
They
gotta
don't want to.
find got some really good stuff ahead. But sorry to
Yeah,
digress.
I digress. Yeah.
Sorry to take you off. Sorry to take you off that pivot. So um you
Mindset,
were
buying a house.
mindset, you were
Yeah.
like, all right, I
hmm
ownership, I got my wife here, my daughter's here. Why didn't you rent and why did you buy?
I bought because I'm capable of doing anything I put my mind to. Right.
Right.
The minimalistic mindset is that I will pay for rent. Right. Of course, it comes with amenities. And when I first came back to America in 21, we had an apartment. With all the amenities, very nice, scenic, lighting, pool. In Boca
Right.
Raton, everything was
Well, of
nice,
course.
right?
Right. Nice
But at the
apartment
end
complex.
of the day, it's not. That's not. It wasn't mine.
Home. It wasn't
You
home.
know, it wasn't. It didn't belong to me. It didn't have my name on it. It had my name on a lease.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying that renting is bad by any sort, right? If that's what you could afford, then by all means, take advantage of it. But for my situation, I could have very well, owned my own property, with of course the help of the VA, and those different programs. But again, we'll get into that. But it was always a goal of mine to have my own multiple, properties. This is my second. I sold my first, and in the next 2 years, I will put this on the market for rent. Or if the market is favorable, might sell this as well, but that would be stupid of me. Real estate always goes up, right? So
Yep.
it's the best thing is to find places in a very nice neighborhood. I'm in one right now in Columbia, Maryland. Is great, expensive, yet great, right?
Gotta love the DMV. Those
When I
those
start,
housing.
yeah, when I rent it out, it's gonna be a good a bit of money, but most
Oh,
of that is gonna be
absolutely.
covering my expenses because it's so expensive out here. But because I have this asset now, I could borrow money on this asset and get something else,
Yeah,
right?
bro. Well, you are
Yeah.
saying it right now. So
S-
by
s-
all accounts, some would say that you are in the gravity well of the American dream.
yes, very
You
much so.
are
White
you
picket
are
fence.
you are in the gravity well of it. Um, Now there's two coins, at least the way I see it, to the American dream. At least the perspective of it.
Hmm.
Some view the American dream as completely unattainable. It is no longer realistic to believe that you can work a job, buy a house, have a car or two, have your family, and everybody live on one income.
Right.
The other side of the American dream is people think it's boring.
It's great.
People think it is the um, the easy path.
Easy.
The They think it is the path that is kind of just like, oh, anybody could settle down and
I
have a
disagree.
family and just do that.
I
That's
disagree.
anybody could do that.
I disagree big time.
So, in your words, in your opinion, your experience, what is the American dream, and how do you feel about it?
Well, the American dream when I was in my 20s was, of course, you have to learn, get your education, make money. That's the whole reason why I went to college and graduated, did all this stuff, got a degree in management information systems to get a job that's paying 100K and get a big house. This is my mindset back then when the economy was kind of stable and the dollar meant something. Now,
Right.
got to make more money, right? Uh, but even though I got to make more money now, that's not my like that's not what drives me. What drives me is that my family is comfortable. If that requires me making more money to get them the comfort that they require, right? Then by all means, I'm working on that at pace. Um, but it differs now from my 20s success. You see on they show you what success is in America, right? The rap life, the celebrity life for basketballers, for comedians, for whoever, whatever, right? That's how you make the money. That's how you become somebody in XYZ. But they just fell off with the whole social media rise. There's a lot of celebrities trying to get into that streaming
Oh, they're making the turn now
dream
from rappers into content creators.
because no one did we're not getting the same dopamine and serotonin from watching them and awing at their lifestyle. Look at Duke Dennis. He's a regular ass dude. Cool, right? Watchable. But he haven't done anything that's like so great that people want to take pictures all over the world with him. Other than have consistency in YouTube, show himself, show what he been through. Down dude, I would want to be my friend, you know. Uh, but regular dude, he's not
Regular
doing,
guy, yeah.
you
But
know,
that shows the power of streamers now. It can elevate you to a position that's higher than most celebrities. Carson, that's probably the biggest
he's mega,
on the
right?
planet. I would say he might be the most
Next
famous
to
up
ISO
there.
Speed, yeah, definitely.
I think, yeah, if they're got to be up. Those two got to be. Well, they're definitely top streamers. But I would say the kids nowadays can name five streamers faster than they can name five
Five
anything.
continents, right?
Five
Five.
anything. Five
Mm-hmm.
anything. Give me
Bet
five
you're supposed
streamers.
to have like,
They don't. They'll.
you
That's a good.
know,
That's a very good point. That's a
right,
very good point.
right. So where were we?
Oh
Um,
no, we're just circling about the American dream. You said it's
American
changed from your
dream,
20s.
right? Changed from my
So
20s to now, my family and them, being my focus and everything that I do is to make sure that we are as a unit,
yeah,
comfortable, and in an element where we're not struggling.
yeah,
That's my drive to get money, to get
that's
affluence.
that's your American dream.
That's my American dream now.
Yeah.
and I'm living it, and I'm grateful for it. And it's gonna grow from here, of course. I never go back. I always grow with my family, maybe monetarily or anything, love, whatever. I will grow in it because that's what family gives you, and new life gives you. It gives you bounty. It gives you the ability to move forward. Don't ever see your family as a burden. From time
Mm.
that start happening, that's when everything that you ever worked to attain. And I mean, a lot of people have their mistakes and stuff like that, right? In children and stuff like that, whatever. But a child is one of the biggest blessings that you will ever get, right? Your
Mm.
goals, whatever you think that you supposed to be achieved, by you before you have a kid, like put your energy into your children, you will still have your ability to move forward. And that's what I did. When I said I was going to do something, I did it.
Yeah.
I'm still learning, still growing. I'm not call myself the best dad in the world, the best husband in the world.
Hey, I'll say it, man. You're the best dad in the world, brother.
I
Best
appreciate it.
best husband, man. Hey, man.
I work
Hey,
hard.
hey, I'll say it. Hey, I'll say it, brother. If you won't say it, I'll say it. You're doing great. You are
Yeah,
doing great. There's only three.
appreciate
There's
that.
only three men I look at and really truly say, "Wow, I cannot wait to experience what they've experienced." And you are 100% one of them.
I appreciate it,
So,
man. That acknowledgement
so
means a lot to me. Definitely.
I respect the humility, but hey, man, I'm not gonna let you do it, brother. You're doing great. You're the best. Black men don't cheat, man. We
Right?
out here.
I'm telling you, when you really believe it, it is true.
When you, it's true. When
It
you
is
locked
true.
in, it
You
is true,
know,
man. No, I'm just
but yeah,
sorry
man.
to take you off your path there.
Nah, you're good. The American dream for me I've worked for it. I'm an educated black man. I have degrees and masters, certificates, military training.
Achieved it.
I
Accolades,
I
baby.
have the accolades, but being a father is my biggest because
Mm.
this is what grows with me. I could show my kids like, look, your father was in the papers. Your father won a state championship. Your father went to this D1 university, top 10
Mm.
education. Your father did all these things. Now, am I saying that you have to fill their shoes? No. I just want you to see what your father did to get to this point, to have you in this place, right? And it's only gonna get
Mm.
better from here. Whatever you want to learn from me, you know, I am like an AI for you. Anything you want to ask for, I got you.
Gotcha.
Like
No,
real
that's
organic,
beautiful.
right?
That's
So
beautiful. In there, in that, your family represents you. They represent, the work you've put in, and they're a great um, barometer of how well you're doing. So if
yes,
your kids are always smiling and well fed and sleeping good, and your
you're
wife is
happy.
smiling and well fed
Yeah,
and sleeping good, I'd say the barometer is pointing towards you doing your job
yeah, man.
very
Happy
well.
unit makes you do it. I tell you,
All right, man. Let's throw it in there. Let's get it up. Let's get it up. Right next to happy wife, happy life,
nah,
happy unit.
happy unit makes you do it, man. That's
Let's
my
get
why.
it.
Like,
No, bro. I like that. I like that. That's that's something that most people are afraid to admit that they want to put stock in that thought right there.
yeah,
Happy unit. Um, to the people that say the American dream is easy and that the way that you're loving on your wife and giving up your all is simping. Could you no no I want when someone says when you hear that, right, let's just jump on that for a quick second.
all right.
What does that tell you about where someone is at mentally when they are saying things like, "Oh, you simping," "Oh, you a simp," "Oh, you a this," to men who are vulnerable to women and who want to have a life with them? They need somebody to speak some words in their defense. They need some verbal fight back because that oftentimes that's the crush that crushes them. As soon as
Yeah.
someone says they're a simp, they're like, "Oh no, wait, I got hoes."
Well, that goes back to the ego thing. That goes back to what
Okay,
we started this with. Like,
right. So
they,
someone says the American dream and being a husband is simping and or not masculine. What would you say?
you have never experienced this before. So how can you know what it really feels like or what it is? You're following social media. You're following the lingo of today, but you never
Mm,
really gave yourself to a relationship in such a way where it grows. So
mm,
how can you judge something you never truly experienced? I have experienced a single life. and I could tell you shit, right? It's just people using each other with no remorse. See if you can't give me this. Like you remember what's the name?
Oh, Rumpelstiltskin.
Oh man, Rumpelstiltskin.
Oh yeah, code name
Code
Rumpelstiltskin.
name Rumpelstiltskin. Like
Yeah.
she wanted 15 bands from me to pay for her nursing degree. I was like, since when I look like 15 bands I could just give.
But to get into that psyche, that's why I'm always thankful for Rumpelstiltskin for opening up the psyche of um the desperate, and
She said
also
I'll do anything for this money to finish school.
I well listen, that is something that a lot of young women now can relate with. All I got to do is one night, 1 week, 1 year of selling myself, and I can have what I want.
That blew me away, man. You were willing to invest your dignity for something that, I mean, granted, I get it. I don't know what your life consists of, but gee.
But damn, but damn, no, that no, I
So
appreciate you saying that.
that's what the single life has to get. That's what's out
That's what's
there.
out there.
You
No,
know,
for
there's
sure.
a lot of them trying to just suck out whatever energy you got left, and then men, because you look good, right? Because these women look really good, and they have these different things going on for them, right? These men
Yeah.
rule over them, and then when they get heartbroken, it's like all women are like this.
Oh yeah. No,
What?
that's very true.
You may
That's
have slept with 100, but you ain't sleep with all of them to know that all women are the ones that you attract.
precisely, and something I would like to add on to that whole thing about all women, etc. Although all women are not the same, you're not going to find a cheat code in women by passporting or going outside the country or going to another culture, because that opens up a whole new bucket of problems.
Unless you learn said culture. I went back home. I went back to Trinidad. I ain't even.
Yeah.
I've been living in America for 20 years, and I'm like, yeah, no,
Yeah.
this cannot occur.
This doesn't go well with me.
I cannot do it. I cannot
So
do it.
well, that's something that a lot of men are still saying now. Not to get too far off our topic, but a lot of men are now, as you know, passport broing and doing all this stuff
Oh, they
as
do
a
what they
response,
can.
as a response to not being able to achieve um, their idea of success in dating here,
Right.
which is, they want the 10 out of 10 that's submissive and all that stuff without having the
Becoming the person that needs
finances.
to have that.
Right.
Right. That's the first thing before even finance reach.
Before even any of that, yeah, which is a whole other thing I'd really like to get into as
Yeah,
well when
definitely,
you have time.
definitely,
Um,
definitely.
I'm just trying to, I know you're a busy man, so I'm just trying to make sure I hit some really key topics
Of course.
as our time gets here. Is there a piece of wisdom that you wish would have been drilled into you more? Like, um, I'm thankful that I had, older men in my life as I was growing up to keep me on the path of, hey man, don't disrespect women. I don't care what she did to you.
That's where my
Don't you
head was
ever
going.
don't you ever call her out her name. That's still a woman. That's still someone that is a life giver. I don't care if she likes somebody else and doesn't like you. I don't care if she doesn't want to be with you anymore. You don't do that. You are a man. You still wear your last name, and you still have a face that you need to show the world tomorrow. And
Right.
make sure that whatever you're doing and saying is lining up with who you really are and good intention. So, one, thank you for always pushing positive and vulnerable on me, because that's the one thing that I'm most
With
thankful for.
purpose and intention.
With purpose and intention, that's the biggest piece of wisdom that I feel has brought me the most amount of peace and success in anything, is by not allowing outside factors to change who I am and still lead with love. But if there was a piece of wisdom you wish someone could have drilled into you, what would that be?
It would be what I drilled into you. I never had somebody to tell me to don't disrespect women. I learned that on my own. I learned
Hmm.
that by being around them. I grew up with three women. My dad was in my ear in Trinidad, right? America, and I was with my mom and my two sisters. Yeah, and I had to observe, just like how I'm doing right now. I guess observation, not a lot of people have it, right? To see things and break it down in such a way where it's like
Mm.
you have a certain role to fulfill. Yeah, I've always been like that. I'm always looking at women and seeing the responsibility they have and stuff like that. Confused to be seeing like watching MTV and stuff like that back in the day. And yes, I'm a ump. We had MTV back in the day and all that stuff that shows the music videos and stuff like that. And the way how they highlight women to be this tool, this object. It never really sat well with me.
Right.
So it was like I wish I had somebody to tell me, teach me truly. I'm learning it now through my wife, right, and my sisters and stuff like that. Is to respect women to the point of y- you know
You got
no
it.
you
Give it up
respect
to him.
what if you can't deal with a woman, your ego is very tender. It's like marshmallows.
Mm.
You feel me? The most spiciest one. Like, women make you feel a certain way. They bring out stuff in you. That's their job. I would have not be able to learn love this way without my wife.
Mm.
So there's a lot of men talking about love, and your Andrew Tates, and your New Fugazi, and all these different podcasts is talking about women and what they bring and their mental traumas, and you deal with that. But that's a feminine trait. Yeah, you think you a alpha man and stuff like that, but you're still disrespecting a woman on television for everybody to see how low women are and how they
Oh my
think.
goodness. And
Like,
that's so embarrassing to not. Sorry
is
to
it?
cut you off,
No,
but I
I
get
I
I get
see. I see
embarrassed,
that means a
man.
lot to you, right?
Well, I get really embarrassed. Not obviously the whole situation is embarrassing, but just as a young man who's grown in many different ways and watching myself mature, I would be turning over in my. I don't even know if I could wake up every day if I had any videos out here where I'm bringing women on and not having good faith conversations.
Teaching
That's
them
what is
truly.
all this is missing, and this is a key word that I think we were kind of forgetting in our vocabulary is to have conversations in good faith.
Yeah, not
And that
just for the
means
views. Like,
not just for the views, not to embarrass somebody, not to do anything other than why do you think this way? Help let's reach a place of understanding and let's try to elevate that a little bit or help me let them talk and maybe we'll find out why no one believes in relationships, no one believes in love, no
it's
one believes in.
a bunch of different ideas. It's a bunch of different subjective ideas that's coming together when they're not seeing it from a kind of objective standpoint. This is a part of it. For you
Yeah.
to get this at its pinnacle, right? You have to be able to be something.
That's a
Like
huge point.
if
To
you're
get it
not
to a pinnacle, to have a goal in mind with your relationship,
intention.
and that is it. Missing that, we're missing intention completely because it's about what can I get. Oh,
Exactly.
she a baddie. That, and we're gonna go here and we're gonna buy this.
That's
That's
all
what
it
I hear
is.
from most. That's what I hear from most relationships or people pursuing someone. If I'm like, oh, are you talking to a girl? Oh, what's going on? Oh, bro, she bad.
That's the
That's the
first thing.
first. That's the first. Which
It's the
fine.
first thing,
Which fine. Okay, look, everybody enjoys being with somebody they're attracted to, right? Like that.
I
So
always go
that's
for the mental first. Where's her
oh,
mindset at? Any girl you ask me about, any other girl you was like, yo, East, I think this is the one. Yeah.
it's like hold up. What's her?
Where?
What's her? You love her? What's her favorite color?
Where?
What's her favorite color? Tell me right now. You
Right.
know,
What?
you love her. What's her favorite color?
What is
If you
she? What
watching
is?
this,
What is
what's
she?
her favorite color, man?
What is she?
All right, where's she at on her 15th birthday?
That's what I'm saying.
Mm, what's going on? Do you really? But
Who's in her circle type deal? Like, is she lone? Is she a loner? Like, why is she lonely? Does she chase everybody she loves away from her? Like, these are the qualifying questions you need to be asking,
no, for
right?
sure.
Not how
No,
big the butt is or the bust size and the pretty face with all the makeup. I'm a makeup artist, guys. Please, please, before you make a decision on a baddie, make sure that face is natural first, so you understand what you're doing, right?
so you know
M-
who it is too.
Makeup is a very powerful tool. Women wield it freely, right? They will get you caught up on a club night when them lights are flickering and you're seeing this the
They
contour and you're seeing all these things, man. Be
they
careful.
planned it out. They know how the lights are gonna look in that building,
I'm just
and
saying. Be
no,
careful,
that's
fellas. The
no,
ones that
that's
go for the vanity looking ones, the nice, yeah,
mm-hmm.
fake. I could turn something that's ugly into something that's drop dead gorgeous. Not tooting my
Like
own horn.
that,
I went to
like
school for
that.
it. I went
No,
to
for
school
sure,
for it.
for sure.
Be
So you
careful.
see, yeah, you see it. You've seen it. You've seen firsthand accounts of how people, can enhance
Mm-hmm.
themselves in certain features.
Yeah.
Uh, um, to go back into mindsets, real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what separates from what you've seen? What separates the people who have achieved success,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't mean just monetary,
Right.
from the ones who stay stuck, even if they have achieved some monetary success? They're still in that same place. What separates those two? I know that's not a simple. Oh,
Yeah, that's a big one,
this.
bro.
I know that's a big range.
It's a big one. But for me, I can tell you for me, right?
Yeah, yeah. Please
For me, the mindset that separates those two is basically like you have to be given, man.
be
You gotta
giving.
be a giver. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, the go giver. Yes, you have to be a giver.
The go giver.
It's a
Okay.
book. It's
Oh,
great.
I didn't know that.
It's a
The
great
go
book.
giver.
Yeah, the go
Okay.
giver, man. Like you gotta be able to give just openly and not freely to every single body. You gotta as a carer, as a nurturer, somebody who takes care of people and nurtures people, right? Like it comes naturally. You
Yeah.
intend to want to do that for everybody, but you know, boundaries is definitely very important for people like us.
Yeah.
So, as a guy of a very giving mindset, so it comes
Hmm.
naturally from my family. It gets all of me, right? For the people who treat me the same way that I treat them, same thing, same
Yeah.
access, right? But the
Okay.
mindset has to be of one that's a giver.
Okay. No, that makes sense.
Yeah,
I hear that a lot from successful people is they started getting once they started giving.
yeah,
I,
yeah,
I hear that a lot.
yep.
For young men watching this who are like, I've never heard these things before. I've never seen two black men up here talking about
Emotions.
relationships,
Yeah.
emotions, and all these things. This doesn't. I can't watch this with my friends. They would not think this is cool.
Man, you
Oh,
soft.
my,
You real
right.
soft.
Um, for all the young men that are watching, because that's my target audience, young men and women, whoever's watching this. But I'm focusing right now on getting young men shifting their mindsets
Right,
into letting all of that other stuff go.
right.
Let's just do the right thing. Um, what would you say is the first thing a young man should focus on if he wants to have a family, a home, stability, and be in a peaceful place? Where should they start?
You gotta start reading.
Mm,
You gotta read. You gotta read all the books you come across that deals with emotion, that deals with spirituality, that deals with money and finance and trading. It's a lot. But when you're young you have time. Instead of going out and doing, dumb stuff like, the club. I mean, not to say you can't go do these things, but not every weekend. Come on. Yes. Come on.
it's not changing. The club ain't
It's not
changing.
change. I'll go to the club right now. I'll probably see the same people
It
that I
hasn't
met
changed.
4 years ago. Try and do the same thing, take the
They're
same
still running
shots,
and gunning. Yeah.
buying the bottles for exorbitant amounts of money, and you could get it in the liquor store for $50. Like
So focus on
on your
getting
on
get some books.
yep,
Do you have
intellectual
a
growth. You need intellectual growth.
do you have a start point that you might recommend for
Oh
somebody?
yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Maybe just a few books that you could say these got me on journey.
Okay, so to learn about Journey, The Alchemist,
Okay.
definitely. To learn about Journey
Alchemist,
and
Paulo Coelho.
Paulo Coelho, Alchemist, right? To deal with self and this ego that men have, the Four Agreements. right?
The four agreements.
That talks a lot about, not taking things personally, and your word is your bond, and saying what you do, stuff along those lines. Um, what's the other one? Oh, my book. I have a book that's called The Alchemy of Hatred. And that book pretty much, don't go to that book first. That's not a first read book. You have to like
Okay.
actually, read through some stuff first before you get to that point, because, my book kind of uncovers all the things we don't want to see in ourselves. Right? So I
Mm.
open all
Debbie
these
Ford.
yeah.
D-
I,
Debbie Ford, Dark Side the Light Chaser was a good
that's a
intro for
nice
that kind of
one.
stuff.
That's
That's a good
yep.
intro for that. Yeah.
Yep, that's a good intro for this one, right? For mine, because I draw a reference from that as well. Uh, Anything from Eckhart Tolle is dense work, but that's not a first. If you're just getting into relationship, people, psychology, anything along those lines, um, anything that he teaches you how to be present, the power of now. He teaches you a lot of different things, and the way how he
Yeah.
speaks like it hits the soul. So
It's powerful.
anything Eckhart Tolle, you could, but not first read. Start at The Alchemist. That's a good way to
It's
get
a good start.
into certain things. Uh, and then learn about um the man, what is it? I had a flop. Hold on. What's that theory? I forgot.
It's all good.
Yeah, that's
It's
that's
all good.
crazy work. I'll
No,
remember it.
no.
I
Yeah,
remember it.
no. Remember, and then
But it's
we'll just
basically
let's,
about the levels and getting to self
oh,
actualization.
like Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Yes. Whew.
Oh, okay. Okay, I
I
got you.
based
I
my
got you.
whole book about that and had a flop. Like, that is
No,
crazy
you're
work.
good.
But
No,
yeah,
you're good.
Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Learn that theory. You understand what it is. Not just face value.
Yeah, no,
You will
it's
revisit this a lot.
oh
These
God,
different
yes.
needs, these different levels. The things that
Hmm.
human beings kind of require to,
To
become a
make
functional human being and
for
make
sure
make decisions.
to make absolutely, brother.
Yeah, so learn that
Um,
theory, and then once you're done with that, we will move forward with what else you need. There is the 48 laws of power, but we're not going there yet.
oh,
If you're
much
if you're
later.
young in the mind and you read that book, then it's gonna be you're
It's gonna
gonna
make you an asshole.
you're gonna interpret it
Sorry,
the
just
wrong
put it
way.
blunt. I'm just
And I
gonna put it
no,
blunt.
I love the 48 laws of power, and I love the author as well.
It's in practice. If you just use it off the bat as is, it will make you less than
That's
successful.
why they banned it from prisons.
Yeah, it'll
These
make you
people
less
that's
than
these guys
successful.
that in prisons reading this book, then and their mind is not developed to the point that they know that getting having a gun and killing somebody or robbing somebody is wrong. You start teaching them these
It's
tricks of
psychological warfare
exactly.
that
You're
become
creating a
yeah.
psychopath. Like
Quite literally that it can lead you down that path without purpose, direction, and motivation
exactly. So
in good faith. So yeah, I do enjoy 48 Laws of Power in business and in setting boundaries.
right.
But it can be dangerous if you take it at face value, like it's some new book of power, and you embody it and do everything it says to the T. You will not find that you are happy or
And you start hurting
successful.
people even more because now you know
Yeah,
how to manipulate
you
them.
know you know how to steamroll people, but it's
Like
just, at least yeah, it just doesn't put you in a.
right,
It
right.
is a good book. Take it take it with a grain of salt. You
Take it
are
with
going
a
to
grain of
become who
salt.
you're going to become, and if you fall off path, we'll get you right back on. So
Yeah,
that's all good. Just before we close out, I want to thank you
of
for your
course.
time. You've given a lot of insights. You dropped a lot of big gems and a ton of stuff that we're going to touch back on
Yes,
in later sessions.
yes, yes,
Do you
yes.
have any like closing statements or any just any words or a call to
Hey,
action or maybe just pop over to your channel?
the words that was given to me by somebody like you hold dear is just do better. Do better. Uh,
Mm.
the way how you do better is by bettering yourself. My channel Path Unknown. Uh, the handle is path.unknown369. That's how you find me on YouTube. That's what I'm focused on right now. All my other channels is Foolish Beauty. That's kind of like my artsy type side. But for this new journey that I'm on right now, where I'm sharing the things that I've learned and the pains I have faced and how I've dealt with it, I'll be putting that on the channel. I have a lot of writings and readings that kind of influences thought, influences you to even start reading and learning
Yeah.
about self and becoming the person that you need to become to be a great person, to be a great husband, father, and these different things. I feel like that's very important for humanity to kind of grow. It's for us to tap into love again, not be the tree huggers like we was back in the day. Smoke a tree,
Yeah.
hug a tree, whatever.
Yeah.
But really growing emotionally and with AI, I feel like it's getting even more important that we kind of stay in tune with our emotions because that's what
Yeah.
separates us from this thing called artificial intelligence.
That
I'm
we're
not against
learning
it.
quickly.
Yeah, I'm not against it. I'm not for it. But we just need to understand that human is the ultimate artificial intelligence. If we know how to really, truly tap into ourselves.
Hey, man, that's beautifully and well said, brother. Appreciate your time,
Of course, of
uh,
course.
and thank you for sharing. With my community, and I hope your community enjoys this as well.
Oh yeah.
And hey, man, let's keep pushing out this good stuff. Love you, man. Appreciate you,
Love you too, man. Definitely.
and
Thanks for having
and
me.
hey, man, we will meet again. I will see you soon.
Definitely.
So God bless you and the fam, brother. Thank you, man.
All right, man. Love you, bro.
All right, peace.